15 frames. It's Zhao to get us underway. And it's hello to Neil Foltz.
Contrasting semi-finals with Higgins, Maguire, you know, establishment of players, I guess. And good power. For years we've spoken about the Chinese force in snooker. When are they going to emerge? Well, it's a...
He's still only 22 years of age, Wu Yize, when he played Lei Pei Fan at the Scottish Open.
Wow.
It's a better shot than it looks to roll up. Judd wasn't playing all that well, but you felt that he was seemingly in control, and the way he just came back and the way he continued yesterday, you know, if you're ever going to hit form, some here to get out of there. With the balls over the pocket, he didn't quite know how to go about that. I think he kindly wanted to get up early and tune into, wasn't it?
Wow.
And that was a miracle how he got out of there. That
Zhao's, and then of course Selby, having trailed 4-2,
7.
finished very strongly. It was always going to be just a matter of away from the table with all of the paraphernalia that goes with becoming a world champion. Kyren Wilson very much an exception to that rule last season.
He's a lovely player, isn't he? Beautiful player to watch him. He really is. The table. He's got some beautiful touches. You know, for a relatively young player, I know that he's been around I've ever seen at that. Getting the balls open almost every time.
37.
And on those occasions during that World Championship, he played superbly in losing by the same score, and he came up with the answers. And in the end, he took care of the two greats back-to-back, O'Sullivan and Williams, with frames.
Well, I think speaking about Terry Griffiths in '79 and Sean Murphy in 2005 and thinking, well, that's not going to happen again, and it has happened.
61.
That'd be assuming that he wasn't going to pot any more balls. That's a great start to the match. That run of 12.
Safe. And Zhao has constructed this break very nicely. We've had 150 seconds. Couple of maximums, one in qualifying, one here, of course, by Zach Shurty. Kyren, or rather Gary Wilson now this season. No sense up in Glasgow. Maguire actually leads that head-to-head 11-10, but he hasn't beaten Higgins for a decade into between this pair, which went Zhao Xintong's way. But both very different players now.
But he plays with a lot of grace and style, is the point I was making earlier. I think think Wu Yize has got two, if you like, ways of playing, way of winning when he's not playing well. That's one of the most difficult things in the game for anybody, actually. You think of players at the top of the tree. That's quite a big mistake, isn't it, that he's made there?
One.
On the right of the table where the easy up and down is available. So he's played it well. He's covered that right-hand red. And he's left sort of the left half route back up the table. It's quite a good effort. Yes, he had a bit of a kiss. It was slightly heavy-handed, but it was
One.
fabulous pot. Is he on anything? Not very much high value. Oh, well, that was a big mistake. He put left-hand side on that, and it kind of just threw.
One.
Yes, pink goes to right corner. That was well, very expansive backswing, which is terrific. But of course, occasionally he'll just slow down through the ball and decelerate. Going to have to make something of this, and he's going to do it without the use of the black at this stage. But he can still.
He won the world. Turned pro 2 years later.
22.
And of course, last season, showcased up and then put together that 5-frame burst before Robertson just about got over the line. Scottish Open final when he was his best that day. And that sort of illustrates the point that Neil was making, his second best, but that's something he can clearly address. All of the talent is there. All of the potential is very evident.
31.
Yes, and he's got to go with it. And but the fact that he is just 22 years of age and
37.
you know a lot more about the game, certainly in defeat than winning matches.
Actually, all of the very best in this sport have a certain swagger when they're in full flow, and I think Wu Yize has that.
That'll do, though. Figuring that it's not so much his problem because he's closing in on winning the frame. So just devours shots like that, doesn't he?
52.
Yeah, he called it close up there, the red and the black, but of course that was the issue he had when he potted the initial red. He could only play on the black. So it is one snooker, but how he's going to get it until he... Well, it is a snooker, but you'd like to think...
Foul.
And that's equally surprising. Fairly routine shot by. But now the red has gone in, it should be over.
Yeah, but there was a moment.
Wu Yize 7 in the frame.
Who remains in his chair, so
1.
Well, good pot. I mean,
8.
yes, and this is the moment. Things might just drop. Don't see why he had to play that shot. Because he could have... Not sure about the shot on the blue as to whether that was really worth going around the angles. I don't think he knew quite how he didn't hit a red there. How did he get through that gap?
Zhao Xintong. 1.
well, it was the rest when he had the chance to turn frame 2 around. And now a chance once again for Wu.
Seven.
Well, this time he had no choice but to go into here. He's clearly not going to be helped by the bulk colours. So the frames have taken a strange
12.
configuration of balls, actually.
One.
But that's controlled pretty nicely. I think maybe the sort of fragmented frames of the two players perhaps suit Wu Yize. No, hang on a minute. This is not right, is it? It's not. It didn't reach. And
It's been a pretty error-strewn frame, in truth, from both players. Zhao having made...
Seven. Thirteen.
the frame that he's not really been involved in, and the red.
19.
He's played it ever so well. And he'd like to play on the pink from this red, clearly to get the... Nice shot. Nice cannon.
Wu Yize pinning his hopes on that awkward red, well short of the pocket.
$39.
Well negotiated.
Position on it again here. This looks a terrific shot. That really is a good shot. Great vision. Again, not overhitting balls, stroking it in.
From his opponent.
46.
Yeah, and it's a very poor mistake to
Who
make.
needed.
50.
And
these have been taken very well. The red was certainly...
Yes, he was wrong side of the blue, but he knew that he had to roll it in. And Wu Yize will be...
50.
It wasn't even that thin. Contact required, actually. Surprising.
1.
That's a good shot. He just managed to find... It goes underneath its spot somewhere. Now let's see. Could be a bit...
8. $16.
That's very nicely done. This in the 3 previous frames.
20.
Zhao Xintong. Quite a blunder on the safety that looked on the face of it pretty routine, but to miss it altogether, which meant the cue ball came.
Yes, I agree with you. It was an odd one that he would miss that altogether for no apparent reason. But he'd like to have the shot again now.
40.
Oh, how about that for a shot? That has worked out beautifully. This could be a very quick frame, this one, because the chance to win it is here and now.
55.
Well, it's a great way to respond to the disappointment of... So just looking for one more red, and it'll be on as even at the...
They got on the pink to right middle was a very good shot, very subtly played.
71.
And Zhao was playing safe from balk. Missed the reds altogether by quite a margin, actually, and...
78.
Well, that was off there, and this really is where he's good. I mean, the form he's been in the last couple, quite poor, and Judd was not at his best either, but
93.
he sort of unleashed a spell of... Did the same yesterday against Barry Hawkins. A match like this, of course, against the world champion.
99.
But what a player he is. What a talent he is.
Gets going. Just like his opponent. The future of Chinese many players with so much natural ability, who get on with it, attack the balls, wonderful long potters with those qualities. Still a bit rough around the edges, yes, inevitably, because...
13.
But what a future he has.
got 15.
Could be this week. Came close last season.
Well, he's deliberately played all these shots from where he's standing when he could have played on the walk round there. This time he's accepted it. He's got to walk round and play the pink from the other side. It's pretty audacious the way he's doing this. So just a sensational break, this, you know.
Fabulous. 9 is the target for a place in the final.
One.
Including a safety shot in frame 4, which was the reason he sat out a break of 140.
7.
This time the cue ball lost, and as mentioned earlier, it was a feature of how
15.
well, that is just fantastic. I think we can all say this is going to be a very enjoyable match to watch. You know,
21.
and both different in their styles. You know, it's all about touch and gets through the ball delightfully. Maybe he hasn't got the same sort of
28.
prowess when he's in the balls scoring, but goodness, didn't expect him to miss it, quite honestly. And the shot before was not one of his better ones, but
Second frame, which allowed Zhao enough points to pinch it, but immediately miss with the rest, and has done so again.
it's a nice safety shot, and he's Zhao Xintong, I think, feels the same way about this. He might be able to lay a snooker if he can just get it right on top of the pink. But there was a route. So he got in Zhao Xintong. What? What he's hoping for. May have had a little idea to sneak the red past the black as well.
One.
I mean, he can score heavily on what's left, but of course the red and the black do make things difficult where they're placed.
4.
And although he lost heavily to Neil Robertson, who was sensational in that match with 4 centuries, 2 of them 1-4-6 breaks, acknowledged afterwards that he was some player with a big future, and that has very much been born.
17.
Yes, I made the point earlier that with the black where it is, he couldn't take reds and blacks, clearly, without the red and the black coming into play. The fact that he took the yellow with the very first colour was suggesting that he just couldn't win the frame. Not saying he won't do, but it just means that for now, Wu Yize can only pot what's in front of him. See where it leads.
So 38. $45.
The one thing that Zhao Xintong did not want from Wu Yize to see him the confidence required for this matchup today.
52.
Now, has he got an angle here? Has he gone far enough for play? Hard to see how that cannon was actually going to bring the red out. I think that was a good shot. Didn't do anything fancy. It just ensured that the object ball Wu Yize scored. It's not a great shot, but by the same. That's such a poor shot. I mean, it's unbelievably poor. You know, trying to.
Two big errors from Zhao Xintong in this frame. He missed the black Wu, so although Zhao has made a couple of very good breaks himself, he's also made quite a few key errors, which has allowed his opponent to edge in front.
Yeah, I mean, you think about how he's feeling there. He frames, is he? Zhao Xintong, that's not really his style. He's going to come out and try and do
13.
to Wu Yize what's been done to him now. Is that Wu looks extremely confident.
17.
He has that intimidating air about him when he's oozing self and threatening to get on top of this semi-final. Advantage. Only their second meeting. And a very big one. The winner, of course, to play either goodness me, hit the wrong red.
Yeah, he did. He tried to hit the red.
And with all that in mind, that was very well cued. Well, you saw the black just catching the jaw on its way to the pot.
Well, he just couldn't get far enough up the table, bang it to middle. Well, what's happened here?
So Zhao Xintong doesn't pay the price.
Wow, that was thin. That was thin. You know, you could see.
Zhao Xintong, 1.
So Zhao Xintong struck.
1. Eight.
So is there a chance here for Wu Yize to take it? Look, the more dangerous of the two. And things can happen very quickly with Wu Yize. And you can just see how confident he is. I can see what he... He's so much better at that sort of a shot, though, isn't he, when he can really deliver that cue right through the ball. Pink was on his spot. But another frame which could be stolen.
Like his opponent, lethal from long range. When he
9.
Strange shot to have to play, wasn't it? Because, you know, he's got the... Didn't pot. It looked like he'd missed the pot there, but as you saw from the other view, the red was not
Zhao Xintong, 5th.
available. But as you can see, he's one of these players. He comes to the table with a view to just win the blue and pink here. Oh, goodness me. He's done a world of damage, surely. Like,
1.
of course, the blue going on the pink spot here doesn't want to allow it to get in the way of anything.
doesn't have to concern himself with that awkward red up towards Bork. Wu Yize poised.
14. Punt.
Yeah, I think the scoreline is completely fair. He's been, but of course he needs to ensure this session doesn't slip away from him, which I think it could do. The way it's going, you know, he could lose the next 2 frames. And that was a snooker that was never going to trouble him. I suppose there's also... So I suppose you can't write it off. Although that is not going to really trouble anybody.
One.
And the comfort of knowing that but on the balance of play, that would be a very disappointing result for Wu. He'll
7. 9. 12. Fault. Wu Yize 12.
That's a strange way to end the frame. They decided to knock the pink in. What to play, but that was a hard one because, you know, you've got to hit very thin on that red, hitting it.
Seven.
That's it.
Wu Yize 7.
Yeah. Needs a strong frame just to restore a bit of confidence, which may have ebbed away a little in this session.
It's another terrific pot.
One.
Cue ball a little close to the side cushion. Just the last few shots have been so difficult.
Wu Yize 7.
Get the feeling this is a very big frame. It'll be the start of a possible comeback from Zhao Xintong, or just that one match previously between this pair, and Zhao Xintong won 5-3 in the German Masters.
If he could get out of this session at 4-all, I think Zhao would feel absolutely elated because he has struggled. That is a terrific bit of cueing, particularly given that he has struggled in the last...
Should he miss it, he was doing lots of damage. So now, what an opportunity to... Just with the viewpoint that he's lost the last 3, all of which he's had opportunities to win.
Something.
He's going to have to make this. Well, there's your confirmation that he did go, and that's what he initially played, and he just overdid it. No, if anything, it slightly went the other way, but as you point out,
6. 7.
so the top red available. Big things to win the frame at this visit. Finishing top side on the pink to play pink directly into the red. Don't think he meant to clip the top red, but he might well be very soon after that shot. Nice recovery, well controlled.
Exactly what, just from his point of view. But he's taken these nicely and still has the opportunity to superiority in this session now by winning the final frame to take a 2-frame cushion for when they come back at 11:30. 4-3 up.
Well, that's a shot he knocked a lot of, I think. Of course, the pot's always got to be taken seriously on those. A lot of your thoughts go into... So, a decent safety shot required, especially against this man. Oh my goodness, what a shot. And this is where he is incredibly dangerous.
Nine. $15.
It's a great opportunity, isn't it?
$21.
When they came back,
Well, he hasn't missed the pot this time, but the breaking...
Reads 34.
a useful lead, honours even. Didn't want that cannon.
No, that's a bad error. I was very annoyed that he didn't make more for that previous chance. Has got an even better opportunity. Hard to think he won't get the frame one at this visit.
Nine.
He's already beaten the world number 1, Judd Trump.
Well, he's tried to play that sort of screw with the right-hand reverse side, which took...
Just pushing the black closer.
Play a meaningful safety shot, and that might be the better option here. Well, it's okay. Yes. In the session. one relatively safe ball is no longer going to be safe, but to get from black to red, it's a great pot. Oh, what a shot. World-class shot there. And now, doesn't it look a very different complexion?
I'll say 49 adrift, and what a beautiful shot that was. Perhaps the best he's played all session. The action he got on the cue ball.
Yes, and now he's got himself convert it, because he's put himself very much in the frame here.
17.
He's a lot of frames to still be played, of course, whoever wins this frame, but it just feels it would...
25. $33.
He placed to deliver the clearance, but Zhao has proved time and again that he can handle that pressure. He did so.
I think that's the point, though, isn't it? You're absolutely right. I don't think the pressure is the issue at all with him. Just a few little lapses today, I think, in his game, but an absolute delight.
And Wu Yize will be sitting in his chair fuming, I think, because he had 2 scores to back that up.
54. 57. 61.
It's gone a little too far, but
66.
this feels a huge contribution.
Brawl. And then it goes to set